The question is, have the Clippers run out of options in free agency? You would hope not, but looking at the pieces that are left, looking at the players out there that are left, a lot of them really don't fit in what the Clippers are trying to do, which is win a championship. Hopefully they can just maybe pull off maybe a piece here or maybe one there that they might be able to fit in if they can't keep the same roster they had last year and be able to run it back, to the roster they had last year to go into this next season and give themselves a chance to win a championship. Now, I see some names out there, Hassan Whiteside, Kelly Oubre, Danny Green, players like that that are out there left. Most of the other players have already been signed. DeRozan to the Bulls. Then you got Carmelo goes to the Lakers. Dinwiddie, I think he goes to the Washington. So it's like when you look at it, there really isn't many pieces or many intriguing pieces that the Clippers would like to utilize to put on their team. Remember, it's still in question about Reggie Jackson, whether he is going to stay on the Clippers or not, because reports are saying that Reggie Jackson has an opportunity to go to the Pelicans, because the Pelicans definitely definitely going to offer him much more money and give him an opportunity to, have a really, really huge payday, for his services of what he's shown in the playoffs last year with the Clippers. So when you look at that in its entirety, it's in shambles right now for the Clippers, and you still don't know what you're getting from Kawhi Leonard, whether he's going to re-sign or not, because, now that Kawhi is sitting at home looking at TV and watching these teams like the Lakers stack up. Even though the Lakers got older, but they're stacking up with shooters all around LeBron James. And, we all know if LeBron has a bunch of shooters around him, that makes him the most effective, because that gives him a lot of one-on-one coverage, going to the basket, playing downhill the way he likes to. And they still got Anthony Davis too. So, then you got other teams just trying to, put themselves in position, like the Heat. They're acquiring Kyle Lowry. That was big for them, which I really thought the Clippers should have acquired Kyle Lowry, because I know that's something that would have, benefit them in the future in regards to the playoffs, getting into the playoffs, and in regards to mentally, just having Kawhi Leonard think good thoughts about the Clippers and be happy, because that's one person that he actually likes. He's won a championship with Kyle Lowry. So them not pulling that deal off, that definitely hurts. But at the same time, you have to look at the situation. The situation presents itself like this. The Clippers have to find a way to stay formidable. They have to find a way to stay afloat, because remember, your superstar hasn't re-signed yet. And he's looking at all these other teams pull off these pieces, and the Clippers haven't pulled off any. So, now it's to the point they better find a way to re-sign Reggie Jackson, because there really isn't no other or many other pieces out there that can help them. The only other piece that I can say that might possibly help them at the stage they're at right now is possibly just Danny Green. All the other free agents that's still out there really won't fit with the team, and they really won't make them any better. Danny Green adds some form of defense, even though he's not the defensive player he used to be. He used to be a lot better, but he still can knock down big shots too. So, you add that, plus there again, that's another person Kawhi Leonard thinks very highly of, look at him as a big brother, the way he did in San Antonio and Toronto, which he won championships both areas in both teams with Danny Green. That's a piece that the Clippers need to look into, because now you've pretty much missed on every other free agent out there. And you really had your hands tied because your superstar hasn't re-signed, and it's a wonder why he hasn't yet. And you're looking at the situation. Has your team gotten any better? And even if you run it back with the team you have, is it good enough? Because other teams are loading up now. So how do you know you're going to get the same performance out the players that you got this year? And think about it. They were down 0-2 every series, mainly because the reason why I said they were, because they didn't have a really good point guard, a floor general type point guard, in which they would have had if they would have acquired Kyle Lowry before the Miami Heat did. But the Clippers missed on that opportunity as well. And remember, these are things that Kawhi Leonard is looking at. Hey, should I re-sign with this team or should I not? Are they putting their foot forward, or are they just waiting on me to come back to save the day and not make any adjustments? Because everybody knows about NBA, you have to make adjustments, and you have to make adjustments in a way of adding to your team sometime, putting the pieces in place to win championships. And I'm not saying the Clippers don't have a championship roster, but what I'm saying is how do you know you're going to get that same out of these players that you got out of them this year going into next season, especially if they don't re-sign Reggie Jackson, because he was like the number 3 scorer for the team in all those games. And with him being your third best player on the team, what he showed a lot of confidence, a lot of charisma, a lot of dedication, and he was really, really dedicated to the team. So hopefully, with all that being said, there is a chance for the Clippers to retain Reggie Jackson just because he might want to be there, just due to the fact off of, his camaraderie with the team, and one of his best friends on the team, Paul George, helped recruit him there. So it's like, that's where we are with the situation. But you have to find a way to re-sign Reggie Jackson. You have to find a way. It's no other way around it, because there's no other free agents out there that are intriguing. There's no other free agents out there that's going to spark your interest, that's really going to help the Clippers be a better team. But you have to just hope that Kawhi Leonard is satisfied, because we all know when he's not satisfied, the situation's just not going to go right. And like I said, you already have issues possibly with the medical staff and Kawhi Leonard. That's already a strike against you. And on top of that, every other team out there is making moves, and you're not making any. So it's like, some people may agree with me when I say they need to make moves, like my video I made yesterday that you can check out, by the way. But some people may not agree with me. But when you look at it in its totality, you have to get better. You cannot stay stagnant. And when you stay stagnant, it just really, a lot of times, you're feeding off the energy you had the year before, and you might not play the same way the next year. How do you know that they're going to play the same? How do you know that? You can't prove that. So, what I'm saying, if you have some areas where you can make a move and make an adjustment and add a player who's a little bit better than the ones that you have, that's not going to hurt anything. Like, hypothetically, if they got rid of Luke Kennard and maybe Rajon Rondo and got a player like, I don't know, let's just go ahead and say, a player like DeMar DeRozan. I'm not a big DeMar DeRozan fan, but if you could find a way to get a player like him in there with a PG and, add him with Paul George until Kawhi Leonard comes back, now you got potentially like a big 3 type team. And that's what you're going to need if you have to play against the Brooklyn Nets, or a team formidable of the Brooklyn Nets status. That's what you're going to need if you have to go against the Lakers with all the shooters that they added, along with still having LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So it's like, you can stay stagnant, but a lot of times it doesn't benefit you in the long run. And we're going to have to see how it goes, because we don't know when Kawhi is coming back from his ACL injury, and you don't know if he's going to re-sign. We definitely think he will, but his name isn't on the dotted line just yet. And that's still up in the air as well. But hey, that's my take on the situation in regards to, what the Clippers, have or have not done in the offseason in regards to trades or anything like that. But leave any comments in the comment section and let me know what you think. Should they stay the way they are, completely, don't make any moves at all, they're perfectly fine? Or, hey, if they have an opportunity to get a player, that can help them win now and be, a little bit better of a team, possibly, would you go after that? It's like, it's up in the air. It's a toss-up. I'll definitely give you that. But leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. We'll engage as we always do. And Cali out.